sat and watched as Victor killed himself? You are one cold-blooded agent. I can't believe Auntie Cleo hasn't already made you VP of Human Capital.
And former supernumerary, although that's a different lecture. The spread of this parasite included a corresponding rise in gastrointestinal illnesses and deaths, until basic preventative measures were put in place after illness-related costs exceeded corporate profits. As is usual for Auntie's Choice. The purpleberry parasite infects nearly 100% of all purpleberry bushes, both in the wild, on corporate farms, and even in our hydroponic collectives. Originally discovered on a single colony world, the purpleberry plant was subsequently spread throughout the colonies due to Auntie's Choice's poorly regulated interstellar shipping. Well, actually, it was due to Spacer's Choice, which somehow merged with another company to become Auntie's Choice. Honestly, these corporate interactions make little sense to me, as they mostly amount to relabeling assets and changing letterhead and mascot cartoons. So I will just refer to them as Auntie's Choice going forward, even though that may offend some of my more literal-minded colleagues. But I digress. The purpleberry plant was at first thought to be poisonous, as the early colonists eating its berries died from the most potent of discharges this documentarian has ever witnessed, in a rare Auntie's Choice lab recording in our archive, which we acquired from a corporate defector to the Protectorate before our stellar system was sealed. Then the Order ceased daily interactions with our Protectorate allies. But again, I digress. Belated testing by Auntie's Choice's unlettered
Choice, improving life.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Friends, neighbors, while you shelter in Matriarch's mercy. Since the schism, the Protectorate has rewritten the circle.
Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings.
You may think you have tasted a great old-fashioned cocktail, but have you tasted the highest-rated old-fashioned ever created? Now you can, with asymptotic, consistently rated the best from the Order of the Ascendant.
believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
The Grand Plan is the predetermined order to the entire universe. We can predict it down to a decimal.
Let me know when you need a distraction. Point that thing!
哎，为什么没有？去附近的唐龙巢穴偷一枚被赭金气体灌注的虫蛹。等一下，所以那虫蛹在这里面。哇，我要找一下。虫蛹在哪里呀？哇，它没有很明确的标示虫蛹在哪里，靠，那这样子怎么找？哇哩嘞，啊，虫蛹长什么样子啊？哎，这麻烦了，我不知道虫蛹长什么样子。哇哩嘞！那我这虫蛹在哪里啊？我好不容易杀进来了，可是为什么没有看到虫蛹啊？看到了。 刚刚怎么没有走到那里面去啊？白痴啊！
Command. Not walking this off. Stand me back up.
Perk up, Commander. Don't make me offend you.
我需要一个威力更大的枪。我需要一个威力更大的枪，这一把对付不了他们。我等一下拿了虫蛹之后就往外跑，困在里面不太好打。
Got my lamps on an unfront.
To die.
我怀疑这出去的路上应该还有。
go-getter. I'm offering deals so good, they're worth crawl. Welcome back to Bonnie's. What can I get you?
没有我要的东西啊。
We need to get back to the N-ray range so I can use the communicator there. Ziegler is in dire need of an introduction to my disemboweling knife.
No offense to Val. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Sure. Always happy to talk.
Welcome back. What can I get you?
Hello again. Have you brought me the pupa? Oh, thank law. Here's the reward I promised. I am downright giddy to get it into my lab so I can start my experiments.
Good luck breaking the news to Wojciech.
Mantisaurs, eyes up, troops! A mess of the bastards are coming from the east.
Did they follow those folks back from that nest?
Let me know when you needed a stretch.
Troublemaker approach.
I'm gonna be picking Manasaur gristle out of my rotators for a week. Well, let's see who's left in charge. And yell at them.
While I appreciate your help in ensuring this mess wouldn't blow back on me, we now got nothing else to talk about. Time you moved on.
Well, that certainly was a horrific bit of chaos. But you made the right decision by giving the pupa to me. The research value it will provide is enormous. Absolutely. And that research will bring me promotions, wealth, and status that is long overdue. My genius will ascend the corporate ladder, and they will be lucky to have me. Yes, you have your bits, and I will have a long, illustrious career spanning decades. Works out perfectly for both of us. And now, you should be off to your next adventure.
Nobody in their right mind is gonna believe I talk to these things now. You're damn lucky I've got to figure out how to explain this mess, or I'd feed you to the bugs myself.
We did good by all the folk in Golden Ridge. If we hadn't eased the pressure between the Order and the troops at Outpost Opportunity, the kettle would have blown its top eventually. Instead, the ceasefire can remain in place, and folk can sleep soundly. Thank you. Oh, I see. You're here to gossip. All right, let's hear it. Who do you want to talk about? Oh, I got a lot of choice words that would have even Val covering her audio receptors. So I'll spare you most of them. I just hope we don't regret letting Azza on board. She ain't right in the head. She's damn near bloodthirsty. I'll keep my distance when I can. But I promise you, if I perceive even a hint of threat from her, I will deal with it. Seems friendly enough, if a mite guarded and a little thick-headed in his view of Auntie's choice. Regardless, I can assure you I'll treat him with the same respect I show you. Though I reckon he's seen his fair share of struggles over the years, no matter how he tries to hide it. Think he ought to ask for help when he needs it.
我要去买一些弹药，等我一下，我看一下哪边有弹药。没有电击棒。
Updating ship roster to reflect the addition of Trooper Silong. Reminder: Earth Directorate agents are not allowed to participate in paid promotions funded by corporations. Furthermore, any opinions expressed in favor of product are the agent's own and do not reflect the opinions of the Earth Directorate.
In our dynamic process, the temperature increased. It never remained constant. It was impossible to decrease. Caught in a catalyst, leading to combustion. Stuck in entropy, from chaos to decomposition of this fatal attraction. This fatal attraction. This fatal attraction.
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension. For those of you away in the field or heads down in research during our last shared learning symposium, we offer the following rescreening of Vicar Magsaysay's presentation.
Welcome to Zeranium and You, a brief accounting of this crucial material. Though minute amounts were first discovered in the Beta Draconis system, Zeranium wasn't found in significant quantities until the terraforming of Cloister and Eden, since it's become the principal power source for all recognized inhabitants of the system. But it's not without its dangers, and, another risk, efficient utilization took time.
Guns, cockpit! Let's give the signal.
It is toxiferous to organic material, but in its crystal state, it's practically putty in our hands. Nothing safe, of course. You wouldn't sprinkle uranium crystals on your nutrient bars, but they won't kill you on immediate contact. Certainly more harvestable in our Zeranium factory. Imagine years of jeopardous methodological experiments with extraction, refinement, and processing, from the harvesting of liquid Zeranium to grinding of crystals for higher yields. Now, Zeranium powers everything from laboratories and outposts to craft and weaponry comparatively safely and at a greater input to output ratio than any other known form of fuel. So ends this missive.
Further beneficial content soon follows. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
It's a fight!
Do not vacillate. You
For my life or event.
How are you still upright over there?
Quite the predicament you're in.
I'm alive.
elucidate and demonstrate. Get to the point and do not vacillate. Elucidate and demonstrate. Get to the point and do not vacillate.
I can't believe we have to record this. Were the written orders really not enough? Void damn scrappers. Listen up, you, hard-working scrappers. Anti-Choice needs you to bring scrap. Bring whole armloads to drop location 14C. 14C. You bring scrap.
Vinculum flavor drops are qualitatively advantageous. Help your food taste better together with Vinculum from the Order of the Ascendant. An ease-setting witticism to confer to colleagues at break time, the universal equation should maturate more rapidly and solve its own problems. This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
Enemy spot.
Welcome to another installment of Ask a Vicar with Vicar Magsai. A recent inquiry: why do I hear ordered product advertisements from the same voices denouncing Auntie's Choice rampant commercialism?
Good question. I'd say the place we differ most from our consumer schools is, well, our overall philosophy. The way we view everything. They believe in profit above all else, while we strive for the ascendance of all humanity through the solution of the universal equation. The difference could hardly be greater. So, while we might share methods from time to time, such as the distribution of goods in our case, to help others ascend to greater heights, we could hardly be more dissimilar.
Do you have an inquiry about our order you're bursting to ask? Drop us a message at your local predictory. What happens next may surprise you, but not us. Next up, well, the seers among you already know.
Function F to the n equaling our starting zen. Function Fn minus 1 plus the Fn minus 2. In all cases that we know, starting where n is so low. Now you know just what to do. Start this cycle, here's the cue. It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summing to preceding numbers gives us math that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abaci. Gazing upon the golden spiral, a part that's quite so vital, arcing in a circle motion, giving squares perfect quotients, 0, 1, 1, and again, 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then 13, 21, not 2, 34, we're counting through.
Error. Navigation systems offline. Unable to locate designated path. Greetings. This unit is unable to fulfill its programming. Are you able to assist this unit in its assigned duties? Dispensing gratitude. In 3, 2, 1. Error. Gratitude depleted. This unit is unable to execute its programming due to tampering. Navigational and other systems have been compromised. This unit is now being used as a target, which is not among its designated functions. This unit must return to Matriarch's mercy to dispense medical care in order to fulfill its programming. Searching for last known location of charging pad. Success. 1 entry found. Processing optimal path toward Matriarch's mercy. Return sequence will be initiated once path is determined. Clarification of purpose confirmed. This unit will arrive at its destination with 0.02% higher efficiency. Thank you, qualified engineer.
More music to perform advanced calculations by.
Probability and the grand plan. There can be no discussion of the grand plan without also entertaining a deep contemplation of probability. Our ability to predict events to varying degrees of certainty is fundamentally rooted in statistical mathematics. Statistics, at its heart, is not but data. Data that is gathered, collated, and subjected to analysis. But what is the role of chance in that analysis? Let's look at the interpretation of pure chance. If one flips a perfectly balanced coin, it will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance. But are there really 2 outcomes? Is there not one specific outcome we can determine? Yes. With complete information, there can be no chance, only outcome. Complete information yields perfect predictions, 100% accuracy, known outcomes. Now we come to one of the most difficult concepts in the Order for initiates to grasp. If the result of the flip of a coin is known to be heads, is it necessary to flip the coin? Would it not be more efficient to simply go forward as if it had been flipped and proceed with whatever action that flip was intended to choose? If so, what part of that choice? The answer, of course, is none. Only when there is less than complete information are we reduced to chance. At present, we have complete. Instead, we are still forced to deal in probabilities, expected values, and standard deviations, which lead to the dreaded sigma of probability distributions. By necessity, we are forced to estimate outcomes based on assumed distributions of sample populations. Such a travesty. No, not a travesty. A tragedy. A horror. A horror the archive will help us avoid. Every bit of data collected, analyzed, and input by our archivists brings us closer to our goal, to the solving of the universal equation. Probability is not enough. Guesses are not enough. Incomplete information leads to inaccurate predictions, which lead to tragedies. We must not guess. We must know. Help us know. Contribute any and all data you can collect to our proud archivists. And you too can say you contributed to the archive.
Tuned your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless. We verify before we amplify.
Make your desired outcome be a probabilistic certainty with pinnacle vegetable expulsions.
You enjoyed our casts. Now try our expulsions. From the Order of the Ascendant. Always remember, every moment, every minute calculation brings us closer to solving the universe.
Race you to the top?
Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
Sharp enough. Pop it out of here.
I thought we were going to have to just enjoy a nice hike without getting to kill anyone.
Unfriendly company. They're mine. Let's fucking try! I will restore my life or avenge my death.
Next, the latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts and relevant informational details for near present and future calculations. Though our current cordiality with Auntie's Choice continues to hold, remain certain that every department stands united and ready should conflict recommence. Why, simply recall the precision of our air defenses against low-flying craft, augmented by our Sears technology combined with the deft skills of our exemplars. This keen partnership not only forced our rapacious rivals to drop supplies from high orbit, it sent their ground troops scampering into scattered lines of hastily dug trenches. So much for their baseless conjecture that bookish theoreticians, a tidier paraphrasing of their colorful invective, couldn't hold their own on the battlefield.
When your absolutions. There apparently was a note to self, not to be read aloud.
And now, additional data and/or music determined to facilitate cognition. And now, a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
Is it time for a check? Because yes, it is.
It's not enough to say you think so without defending your position. We won't accept a hunch or feeling, an idea based on intuition.
determined, you're listening to Grand Plan Wireless for
Got some bad
Making strides!
For me!
Got my time!
A listener asks, what's this about the mathematician and his propensity for
There's a train of time.
Yes, the charismatic mathematician did have food to say. And he was a conviction early in his career. These narrative larks did not, shall we say, endure time's unkind judgment quite like his world-shattering humanity-ascending principles. Nor did his associations with entities outside academia, which do not always benefit scientism. But come now, how can we fault someone yet to ascend, like all of us?
And now you know, but no one knows everything yet. Have another inquiry about our order you're bursting to ask? Relay your query at your local predictory post-haste. Keep put, much is left to come. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be.
The color of space, a chromospectral analysis. When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Odescard replied, no hesitation, beige. To experienced lumen astronomers, his answer was the expected one. But I can already hear the obtuse listener bleating, with their faces contorted into a rictus of ignorance. Wouldn't the average color be black or white, or simply a shade of gray? No, it would not. The answer is rooted in the science of how hot objects absorb and emit light, which answers the ancillary mystery of why there are no green colors. To understand all this, you must understand
all aboard
thermal divarication
what?
Emission.
You were thinking it too.
The typical use of non-heated matter absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon it, including light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its color. However, most stellar objects generate far more radiation than they absorb, so they can be modeled as an idealized object, which is assumed to absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation and re-emit some based on its temperature and composition. Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence what portion of the spectrum that light is in. Low temperature emission is mostly infrared and not visible to us without proper instrumentation, which I need not describe here. As the stellar body's temperature increases, its emitted light shifts up into visible light, through red, to orange, then yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are the hottest stars, emitting mostly blue and invisible ultraviolet light. So why are there no green stars, you wonder? I would think the listeners could easily draw this trivial conclusion for themselves, but if I must... It's because any star emitting green light emits bluish and or reddish light too, resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition that emits solely packets of green light. In fact, such a composition itself would constitute evidence for intelligent interference, and no such evidence of any kind has ever been detected. Let's get back to Newton Odescard, the famous stellar cartographer. The methodology of the Odescard's chromospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then tagged each object in every grid. He ignored toward empty regions, as black would only dim the color and not change its fundamental hue. The light from every galaxy, star, nebula, and quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. The subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to within 0.5% of the predicted value. And that result was beige. More specifically, in the cylindrical coordinate model of color space, the hue is 42 degrees, while the saturation is a mere 9%, and the value is a full 100%. In more novice terms, while the color tends towards white, the addition of a variety of reds and some blues results in a more beige tone. And there you have it. So go forth, neophytes, and as you study your lessons, stare at the nondescript walls of your library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and exult in the knowledge that beige is also the color of the universe.
And now, constructually compelling yet categorically veracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus. Drink Maxima alcohol-free liquor.
The other brands may be 80 proof, but ours has 80 proofs. One printed on each label. Collect and study them all.
From the Order of the Ascendant. Never forget, we will unlock humanity's true potential. In due course, in due time. Each fulfilling our prescribed role in the grand plan. This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
Sure, it's pretty now, but have we considered what it might look like on fire?
in the Department of Research and Inquiry.
The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
This window. Don't like it. These strangers. Should rip them out, shatter them, transfer them with ourselves.
Yes. Yes! Grab an order glass scrawler next outing. They'll display us in the standing before we cut them up.
Back up for grabs. Here's to the next residence being above felony.
There's a strange sort of humor in the onset of the first war in Arcadia's history, within a few days of my being assigned here. As far from protectorate society as possible, Golden Ridge suffers under an invading force, and moreover, it appears that our Order colleagues have betrayed us. At first, I lamented my isolation, but I've realized I was where I needed to be of service. The scores of abandoned subjects need a leader. I have enlisted the staff at these estates to help.
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the world until you achieve ascension.
Abbot Newell here to report a message of significant value, conveyed to me by Alexandra Monastery's most trusted conjecturer, Seer Wiley. To all those tossed hither and thither by war's perilous fluctuations, the Order invites you to seek stability and shelter in Matriarch's mercy. While lean accommodations do persist, the effort to improve conditions is being spearheaded by Administrator Agarwal, who I have been reliably informed has everything well in hand. I humbly return you now to the previously scheduled program. This is Abbot Newell of Alexandra Monastery, signing off. How was that, Wiley? What? It's still recording? Oh, how do I stop the...
In closing, a potentially incongruent word of advice. invariably find a way to turn your negatives into positives.
Further beneficial content soon follows. Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
Do not worry when things become complicated. School and studies and matriculated. There's no need to suffer from perplexity in the face of a source of large complexity. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. We have tools to tame high-order equations. They are useful in problematic occasions. You can take the formula's derivative, or use square roots of numbers that are
之前我要怎么走到这个地方来啊？这边都是河流，所以我必须要回到这边来，然后从这边过去吗？
Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. Calculating the center of gravity of a shape possessing concavity, or a shape with manifold convexity. You can manage any such complexity. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. Complexity is partially
That wasn't the song I was supposed to play. Oh, I forgot to carry the one. Next up. Well, the seers among you already know.
The spread, illnesses, and eventual control of the purple-berry parasite. OA Archive transcription number 3918-4 begins here. Hello. For the record, my name is Marie de Rothschild, Junior Archivist, Class 4 of the Archive. Today, I would like to talk about irresponsible spread of the purple-berry parasite by Auntie's Choice and its numerous subsidiaries and former supernumerary, although that's a different lecture. The spread of this parasite included a corresponding rise in gastrointestinal illnesses and deaths until basic preventative measures were put in place after illness-related costs exceeded corporate profits. as is usual for Auntie's choice. The purple-berry parasite infects nearly 100% of all purple-berry bushes, both in the wild, on corporate farms, and even in our hydroponic collectives. Originally discovered on a single colony world, the purple-berry plant was subsequently spread throughout the colonies due to Auntie's Choice's poorly regulated interstellar shipping. Well, actually, it was due to Spacer's Choice, which somehow merged with another company to become Auntie's Choice. Honestly, these corporate interactions make little sense to me, as they mostly amount to relabeling assets and changing letterhead and mascot cartoons. So I will just refer to them as Auntie's Choice going forward. That may offend some of my more literal-minded colleagues. The purple-berry plant was at first thought to be poisonous, as the early colonists eating its berries died from the most potent of discharges this documentarian has ever witnessed, in a rare Auntie's Choice lab recording in our archive, which we acquired from a corporate defector to the Protectorate before our stellar system was sealed and the Order ceased daily interactions with our Protectorate allies. But again, I digress. Belated testing by Auntie's Choice's unlettered scientists showed that the berries were not poisonous at all. Instead, they were infected with a microscopic parasite, the purple-berry parasite, or PBP, as it is colloquially called in Auntie's Choice's records. More specifically, the PBP eggs are found in every berry of an infected plant, where these eggs have been subdermally injected by the second stage of the parasite. But I am getting ahead of myself. Let's examine the PBP life cycle in detail. After an infected berry is eaten by a host, the microscopic eggs inside the berries are exposed to the host's digestive enzymes, which trigger their hatching. These parasites...
So you did come. Good. I'm not partial to working with those given to second thoughts. It seems we arrive on a desolate scene. I don't know what transpired, but whatever it was killed the refugees to a person. As an arbiter, I bear a strong stomach. But if you've any reservations about witnessing destruction visited upon the innocent, you'd best steel yourself.
Well fertilized in this entire process. Also, as the expelled contents contain undigested purple...
I've some theories on the refugees' killers, but I remain unsatisfied. Although I am not required to do so as an arbiter, I would care to acquire proof.
Unsurprisingly, careless Auntie's Choice scientists mislabeled this case of obvious symbiosis, given how both the...
We operate under the Sovereign's indefatigable will. Thus, we do not need proof. But my training was somewhat unique in that it emphasized the value of thorough investigation. Let us comb the remnants of this charnel house.
After some additional casualties, plodding Auntie's Choice field researchers discovered that co-native planetary fauna was well adapted to the parasite and hardly affected by it to any large amount. But human colonists were not so fortunate. The PBP
These people could have been saved if they simply hadn't deviated from the paradigm.
A correspondingly large immune response leads to violently explosive diarrhea, resulting in the expelling of the worms, the berries, and most of the person's gastrointestinal tract. Human casualty rates were close to 100%, even when reluctantly given medical attention by Auntie's Choice doctors, who were more concerned with upselling unnecessary procedures or prescribing expensive ointments such as their antibiotics, a topical cream that offers no benefit to the dying patient, except possibly smoothing away stubborn wrinkles.
Shame about all this blood. I just polished these boots.
However, given the purple berry's non-zero nutritional value and low growing costs, impatient Auntie's Choice administration officials directed their labs to find ways to remove the parasite from the berry. A variety of methods were tested and found effective, but they were all time-consuming and wasteful of the edible portion of the purple berries, so these methods were deemed non-cost-effective and rejected out of hand. Eventually, the answer was found not in a lab, but in a history book. Specifically, a history text on Saltuna, a crossbreed of two different Earth fish species called salmon and tuna was found that contained a reference to anisakid nematodes, or salmon worms, with an estimated 70 to 90% of all salmon being infected by these parasites. More importantly, the text contained the solution to eradicating these parasites: freezing. The simple and obvious, yet untried, act of freezing the salmon meat killed the embedded parasites. A quick test showed the same procedure worked on PVP eggs, although without quite 100% effectiveness. The remaining parasite eggs were not removed, a method that was judged too wasteful and expensive, since they increased the protein content of the berries without affecting their texture or flavor in any discernible way. The microscopic egg remains were simply too small to be seen or felt by the unaided eyes and tongues of their consumers. So Auntie's Choice administrators were satisfied with this inept solution. Purple berries are now a common nutritional and flavoring agent throughout the colony worlds. Mindless Auntie's Choice consumers especially purchase a large variety of purpleberry-themed foods and beverages, all of them mislabeled parasite-free. More accurately, the label should read live parasite-free. But in any case, Auntie's Choice once again demonstrated their contempt for their customers, for nature, and for any pretense of safety. Another reason this documentarian is grateful for our order's fabricated nutritional foodstuffs. OA Archive transcription number 3918-4 ends here.
I cannot help but feel a pang for these people, cut down without a hope of defense. We must uncover what transpired here. Let's hear it. Seems this base has seen its share of destruction. I maintain that it feels deliberate, judging by the still standing buildings. Was there anything remarkable about it? Thorough destruction scarcely narrows the list of possible suspects, unfortunately. Did you have anything else? I doubt it factored in their inadequacy in the face of a superior force, assuming there was a superior force. An apt theory, yet there are no signs of a large force's egress. The automech should have mounted a consistent defense, but there are no signs this occurred. Someone visited much carnage on this place while leaving few signs of their presence. Did you learn anything by examining the body? I ascertained the burn wounds, but I theorized plasma damage, not electrical. Seems I must brush up on my ballistic know-how. You're certain you've combed the place to your liking? Then let us debrief and see if we can deduce what transpired here. Have you any theories as to what killed these people? I have a strong theory, but there are gaps. I'd like to hear your own analysis, and we may compare where our ideas converge. A good first observation, and one I concur with. Too little damage, no signs of traditional firearms. Have any theories about the automechs that did this? My thoughts exactly. How do you believe they were compromised? I may have a strong theory, but I do not have a definitive answer. Indulge me. How do you think the mechanicals were corrupted? I submit that the refugees predominantly used the local shortwave tower to control their automechs. The saboteur commandeered it and sent out an override. The only remaining puzzle piece is why. Why go through all this trouble to eliminate a handful of isolated refugees? Yes, that relay tower in the rear of the camp was clearly not built by the refugees, but stolen from the Protectorate, which likely means that they were Protectorate as well. The refugees must have used it to listen in on Protectorate communications, then sold what they learned to Sub Rosa. After the Vox Relay's recent destruction, High Command would have ordered a security sweep of all communication systems. This outpost's relay would have returned a signal. Upon learning of this camp's existence, they'd have dispatched a sentinel to cross off any would-be traitors. Hence the destruction we bear witness to. theorized. I knew this was an ex-Protectorate encampment, but wasn't sure it was a Sentinel's doing until this moment. They operate in clandestine ways. Now with that finished, Hold. Some things approach. Be ready. I suspect someone has disapproved of our inquiry.
Ready to take the heat off, Commander. Just say whip.
Eliminating any.
Look sharp. It's a fight.
Engagement. You held your own admirably. These automechs will never be used to perpetrate such heinous acts again. I believe we're at the end of our investigation. The prospect of sharing our findings with the broker isn't terribly appealing, but we've little choice. I will locate my wretched Sub Rosa transport and return to Free Market Station. Pleasure fighting beside you. Be sure you return to Free Market Station to debrief with me. Despite our work here, I somehow doubt the broker would grant an audience to me alone.
Next, the latest field data
这边有一个东西没有剪。
and relevant informational details for near present and future calculations. Fellow esteemed members of the Order of the Ascendant allocated to Golden Ridge. As foreseen, recent conflicts between the Protectorate and his choice and ourselves have resulted in notable detrimental effects throughout
想不下在哪里？靠！
The loss of Fort Endurance, disabling of the tronicular, and a 17.9% reduction in effective sleep cycles per evening. Right before you succumb to a sense of malaise that undermines cognitive function,
we're feeling this, right?
Contrasting data. Our efforts deciphering the universal equation remain unabated. Extraction continues at Zeranium Manufactory 7, as does research at the N-ray range. Remember, information is for a predictable range of error, so do we. Our work continues.
That is all for now. Until next time, keep hail and mind your head.
And now, additional data and/or music determined to facilitate cognition. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination. from arrives.
How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? Four, four, five, nine, two, three, zero, seven, eight. 16406286208. 99866280348253.
我还真的很喜欢他唱这首歌呢，很好听呢。
How many numbers am I? How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? How many numbers am I?
要在5个车站收集5样东西，我这边可能也漏了。
We verify before we amplify.
Eat complex food bars. Every real bar is packaged with an imaginary piece for you to enjoy later.
From the Order of the Ascendant. Humorous hot beverage mug text recently observed, scienticians seek safety in numbers and enlightenment. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
这边收集到一个，因为这是这是轨道啊，所以轨道刚刚我应该是在这边也收集到第2个。哎，等一下，这是什么东西啊？找到荣耀黎明的通讯装置。哎，我刚刚没有找到吗？找到荣耀黎明的通讯装置。哎，我刚刚怎么忘了？靠背啊！我在丢什么东西啊？
This is it, the Dawn's communication device. Let's see what I can find on it. Not much, but there are a few encrypted messages from Ziegler reporting on a rift in Paradise Island he was sent to study. Idiot didn't even have enough respect to stay to kill me himself. Well, it's of no consequence. Now that I know where he is, let's go show him the error of his ways. I'm not worried. I'll patiently bide my time and savor the thought of his impending death in the meanwhile.
Stifled by unfulfilling work with no hope of advancement? Tired from fighting off your fellow workers to keep your employment? Want data-driven insight on how to excel at your life? Visit our predictory and take our short 38-minute questionnaire to determine exactly what career you are meant for. Act now and receive a 1-week prognostication from a seer. Absolutely free. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
If you're feeling anxious about what's next, just wait. Things to come.
看一下还有哪个车站我没去过。
Every moment.
Next up. Well, the seers among you already know.
One thing that you have to know, irrationality is good for the workforce. How can that be? How can that be? Infinite, a measure of mystery, unveils the key to logic's asymmetry. How can that be? How can that be? Irrationality. One thing that you must confess, irrationality is a part of our progress. How can that be? Using part, another without end, evokes a result, correct in the dividend. Accept it, and you can plainly see a positive externality, a positive externality, a positive externality. One thing you can plainly see, accept it. In this infinity, can it be a positive externality? One thing, the irrational accepted in the calculation, can it be, can result in explanation. How can that be? How can
You're listening to Grand Plan Wireless. For transpiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future, also music.
Ready to take.
Because reason never goes out of season, it's time for another demonstration of related Vicker Mag Sci-Sci. Today we focus on quantity over quality analysis with an accelerated round of starting with, does the owner know the outcome?
Of course we do. But such knowledge cannot be shared with the general public or broadcast over the ether. Such an action would shift the equation into new modes. It might introduce ancillary expressions that would invalidate our original solution.
It's a fight!
Indeterminative discontinuity. Let's move on.
Oh, no, fuck!
The equation necessarily requires bijective isometry. Such a class of parametric mappings must be made by an objective third-party order member to assure non-arbitrary orthogonality. Make an appointment at your nearest predictory as soon as possible. Any more questions?
Yes, Vicar. Because research shows the listener attention falters after a series of 3 items, here's our third and final question. My Canid ran away. Where did she go?
She's dead. Okay, great query and answer session, everyone. As your plain-speaking, relatable vicar, I'm always happy to fill your day with 2.5% more practical knowledge.
What happens next may surprise you, but not us. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by...
Get to the point and do not vacillate. You've checked your work and verified your data. Send in your proof. Don't wait for later. You've crossed your T's. You've dotted your I's. The only thing that's left is publicized. QED.
informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. A general reminder for the especially studious: monitor your step when traversing between academical appointments. Do not read and walk. The localized dimensional tears known as rifts are lethal to pedestrian traffic. They also attract bloodthirsty zealots. Said zealots are equally lethal to pedestrian traffic. If you must operate near or adjacent to said conspicuous dimensional disturbances, please take additional care. Eyes forward, noses out of academic journals.
So ends this missive.
Continuing as predetermined. This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
Function f to the n equaling our starting zen. Function fn minus 1 plus the fn minus 2. In all cases that we know, starting where n is so low. Now you know just what to do. Start the cycle, here's the cue. It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summing to preceding numbers. Gives us graph that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abaci. Gazing upon the golden spiral, a part that's quite so vital, arcing in a circummotion, giving squares to perfect quotient. 0, 1, 1, and again 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then 13, 21, not 2, 34. We're counting through. It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summing to preceding numbers. Give us a graph that brings us wonders. Define the recurrent relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abaci. The Fibonacci sequence is a sequence in which each number is the sum of the two preceding ones. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 1, 44, and so on and so forth. It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summing to preceding numbers. Gives us a graph that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. Summing to preceding numbers. Gives us a graph that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abaci.
And now, constructually compelling yet categorically voracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus. Confirm your hypotheses with Lemma protein snacks.
Whether you are in between theorems or in between meals, Lemma has you covered.
From the Order of the Ascendant. A roguish comical remark discovered upon a chalkboard. Auntie's Choice and the Protectorate both count very little. The Order of the Ascendant counts the most. And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
Generating Primes, Techniques and Uses. Good day and welcome again to Advanced Abstract Algebraics, Section 4, Session 43. Please continue to enjoy the background music, which I have selected today based on its arithmetic-based harmonic progression. My name is Edmund Vandersmythe, and I am the Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numenistics for the Order of the Ascendant. Today's lecture will focus on the generation of prime numbers, techniques, and uses thereof. I know. Prime numbers? Why so simplistic? Well, consider this a basic refresher course in remedial numenistics for those new to the order. I will start by explaining what a prime number is, despite the fact that you should have learned that definition decades ago, while still in diapers. But no matter. I have been called many things, and repetitious is one of them. I have also been called redundant several times, and once I was called reiterative, if you can believe that. So, prime numbers. What are they? The simplest definition is this. Given the set of natural numbers greater than 1, let's call that set n2. Then a prime is any number in the set n2 that is not itself a product of two other numbers in the set n2. A simple definition. Elegant, even uplifting, almost ascendant, you could say, but not redundant. Side note, I am frequently asked why isn't 1 a prime number since nothing can divide it other than itself? And the answer is simple, you silly lay person. Because with such an inclusion to the definition of a prime number, then nothing else would be a prime number. And then what good are prime numbers?
3, no. 4 years since this war began. Can't rightly recall. It's a struggle to keep track with the constant threat of bullets ventilating your brain pan. Had another run-in with those brigands. Caught us unawares while out on patrol. The Order was hard enough to contend with, now we got them too. It's enough to make a man weep. How many good soldiers have we lost out in those law?
Bit cartridges. In fact, our archive uses primes for that reason and many more. The archive incorporates prime numbers for storage and retrieval on its ultra-efficient system of techniques, as well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory store for corruption, lest its calculations be tainted by such. But if you strive to become a numenistics researcher, there are several open questions in the area of prime number study. One such question is this. Is every even member of the set n2 besides 2 a sum of 2 primes? It seems to be so, but no one has ever proven this conjecture. Similarly, are there an infinite number of prime pairs that differ by only 2 in their value? That seems unlikely, but we have been unable to find an upper limit. Perhaps you could discover one of these groups and become the next Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numenistics for the Order of the Ascendant. Such a lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good disquisitions to you all, and good day.
Broadcasting cognitive resonance across Arcadia, this is Grand Plan Wireless. Ready to have your mind enlightened and your day brightened? It's time for another installment of Ask a Vicar with Vicar Magsaysay. Oh, here's a question from a new pupil, freshly converted from Auntie's Choice. Did presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar know the matriarch personally?
Wonderful! I do enjoy educating the uneducated. The succinct answer is no. Our presiding bishop never met the matriarch, but let's look at all she has done. Over the course of her decades-long appointment as presiding bishop, Ruth Bassar has added multiple parameters to the calculated life equation of the matriarch. She has determined derivatives at multiple points along that function, obtaining a Maclaurin series with a convergent approximation beyond any previous sequence. Our infallible presiding bishop has approached an error dispersion exceeding 5 sigma, a level of calculation superior to all bishops before her. Cite her theses with confidence. If that did not
a freelancer. I didn't know we hired any.
But I'm glad to have
Vicar Mugsai will
glad to have you, especially after that last attack.
But much is left to come. Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
If you're feeling sorry for me, don't.
I'm dead tired of fighting scrappers. How many times we gotta tell him not to scrap?
Glad to be sitting here safely, but I hope command is sending us a cost-effective method to clean up this.
Can you give me an example that is true? Of course. The number when you square the root of 2. Explain. An isosceles right triangle. The smaller sides are measured both as 1. The length of the longest side then cannot fully be expressed by anyone. They're irrational, 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 irrational. The phaser is misrational.
I'm glad to be sitting here safely, but I hope command is sending us a cost-effective method for cleaning up this uranium soon.
Any numbers that are fair. The ratio known as golden. It is written as the Greek letter pi. From the Fibonacci set beholden, second only to the number known as pi. Pi is a worldwide phenomenon. Attempt to square a circle and you'll need it. Don't confuse it with its homonyms.
If you're looking for outpost opportunity, it's to the south. And a bit to the southeast and southwest. Just sort of all over the place. In bits and pieces.
What's a number that has no ending? Mathematics man.
Vicar Mugsai has informed answers, as evidenced by another installment of... A listener asks, I'm so bored. I am always bored. In fact, I'm bored.
An honest question begging for an honest answer. Numerous studies have shown that boredom is inversely proportional to intelligence. Normally, I would suggest puzzles and problems to increase your participation. I don't see that as a definition in nature. Instead, I recommend the following. Purchase a small rubber ball and learn to bounce it. Best of luck to you.
Stay tuned for what follows. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be.
Probability and the grand plan. There can be no discussion of the grand plan without also entertaining a deep contemplation of probability. Our ability to predict events to varying degrees of certainty is fundamentally rooted in statistical mathematics. Statistics, at its heart, is not but data. Data that is gathered, collated, and subjected to analysis. In that analysis, let's look at the interpretation of pure chance. If one flips a perfectly balanced coin, it will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance. But are there really 2 outcomes? Is there not one specific outcome we can determine? Yes. With complete information, there can be no chance, only outcome. Complete information yields perfect predictions.